Hello, welcome to today's video, and if you couldn't tell by the tone of my voice, for once, I'm happy. That's right, we finally got draft mode, or unranked mode, or whatever you want to call it. And you know what? I'm going to talk about all that stuff. All the stuff in the title, all about draft mode, everything. But first of all, I want to tell you what's in the video so you can be a little less confused. Today's video is almost like a news kind of video, and I never thought I'd be making one of these, but there's a few topics that just happened with AUT and a few specific things I want to talk about, and none of them are long enough to be their own video. So rather than making 3 videos on 3 different topics, I've just crammed them all into one. So it's more like Eclipse's exposition dump rather than anything. So today, if you can't read the title, we're talking about the unranked mode, we're gonna talk about the acquisition of the new abilities, and we're gonna talk about how ludicrously overpowered the new abilities are. Or at least the new ability. I can't say the other one because I don't have it. And so rather than waste your time and have you sit here listening to me drag on about nothing, let's start talking about unranked mode. Finally, we got it back. We used to have it before, then it was gone, now it returns. Unranked mode has returned in the form of draft mode, which you can see on the main menu. Draft mode is everything that I could have hoped it would be, and more. Not only are there no repercussions for winning or losing games, so you can just go in and have some fun playing the game, but all the fun staples of old unranked mode are back as well, including but not limited to immediate rage quits and people complaining about lag. God, I miss those. Anyways, draft mode is pretty easy to access. It's right on the main menu. You can pick it. I did think it was kind of weird that they called it draft mode because I did run into someone that rightfully thought that the stands were random because in a draft, you like randomly select from a pool. So I think the name is kind of odd, but that's just a nitpick. Who really cares about that? The point is, we got unranked mode, and that's wonderful. The other thing about unranked mode that's pretty cool is that they've put in the banned stands, so things that I normally just couldn't play because they seemingly were permanently banned from ranked for stands that I guess they didn't want to fix or whatever, you can use. So now the mode's even more broken than it was before in the old ranked mode, which honestly, to me, is a little bit more hilarious than it is frustrating when you see something on the other end and you're like, oh yeah, they banned that. Well, this person's kind of a scumbag, and here I am using the new banned stuff, so welcome to the scumbag crew, my friends. Anyways, I don't think I have anything else to say on draft mode. I think it's awesome, I'm glad it's here, I'm glad I can, well, play again, and I'm just generally happy, because I enjoy playing AUT, I don't enjoy ranked game modes. So here we are. Moving past that, and I want to talk about the acquisition of the new abilities, and like, what the flying the developers were thinking with this. Normally in these videos where I'm not doing it live, I do my absolute best to keep a level head, but after reading the comments on the last video I put out where I was talking about how I was wondering if it was a random chance if you got a drop from the boss, I was informed that there's a 50% chance that you can beat the boss and get nothing. I don't know who makes these decisions over at the development team for A Universal Time. I have no idea, but whoever they are, I don't know how, in good faith, they could possibly make a decision that involves you getting a random chance to get an item after spending a cursed orb and a Tales of the Universe to spawn in a boss that you then have to beat that's ludicrously overpowered for a chance to get a random item, which then gets you the ability. No other ability in the game, as far as I'm aware, except for maybe Planet Shaper, an incomplete ability, is this complicated or random to get. If you want to get the world over heaven, you do the quest and you use the Dio diary on the world, and then you get the world over heaven. It's not like you do the quest and use the Dio diary and there's a chance that you'll get the world over heaven. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would they do that? So I just have no idea who thought that the progression for these two specific abilities should be so convoluted. I think it goes without saying that any rational person would say you use the cursed orb in the Tales of the Universe to spawn the boss, and then after you beat the boss, you go talk to the NPC at the end, and they ask you if you want Yon or Yasuo. Problem solved. How this didn't happen to begin with, I have no idea, and I sincerely hope for the continued sanity of people that want these abilities, that they won't have to go through the pain that I've heard from others of beating the boss 3 times and never getting jack shit. Because frankly, it's absurd that you can go through all this effort spending a cursed orb and a Tales of the Universe and get nothing. Now moving past the actual acquisition of the abilities, and oh my god, is Yasuo overpowered. I completely understand why it's removed from ranked, and if you're watching the background footage, you completely understand why it was removed from ranked. Yasuo, to be perfectly honest, feels like cheating. Yasuo is the most overpowered thing I have ever used in my 21 years of being on this earth in any game. And that is no exaggeration. I'm not kidding. I've never used something in any game that has come close to as overpowered as this is. I think a limbless child with Down syndrome and no brain could do a touch of death with this ability. Seriously, it's so stupidly brain dead easy, from the absolutely zero end lag on just about every move, to the fact that almost all your moves don't slow you down, to the fact that most of your moves have barely any knockback and have enough stun that you can just walk over to the person after they knock back and hit them with more M1s and continue the combo. I'm pretty sure, and this is no exaggeration or joke, that every single move except for the Gale projectile for this ability is a combo extender because of how poorly designed it is. And I'm seriously not joking. Your Q is free damage and has a very small amount of stun, but it's enough stun to be a combo extender. Your R is a combo extender. The barrage, because it doesn't send them far enough and you can hit them while they're flying back because the end lag isn't programmed right, is a combo extender. The grab, for God's sakes, seemingly has enough stun to be a combo extender. Your ultimate with the F, you hit people right at the end of it and it seems to be a combo extender. So if every single move is a combo extender, then you can literally, no joke, mash buttons and it's probably an infinite combo. And that to me, well, it's a little bit hilarious. Let's be perfectly honest here. It's really funny, but it's also like, how did this even happen? I think if anyone took these abilities and used them, well, against each other for more than 20 minutes, they would have realized, hey, hang on a minute, this is incredibly overpowered. How are we going to put this in the game and make it, well, not that? And then maybe someone else said, nah, whatever, we'll just put it in and lock it behind such a ridiculous requirement that barely anyone's gonna get it. So if no one has it, then we can make it as OP as we want, and then we'll fix it while it's broken, and then we'll reduce the requirements later. That'll fix it. That's what I see going on behind the scenes. Whether or not that actually happened, obviously, is completely conspiracy. As for Yone, I can't say for sure if that ability is overpowered. I did play against it and I felt like it was very oppressive, and a lot of the time I was just constantly getting hit, but seeing as I've not used it, I don't really know the moves. And I also have really no idea if the people that I was playing against had any idea what they were doing. I really can't say for sure, but based on what I've used with Yasuo, I can comfortably say that there's a pretty good chance that Yone is just as overpowered and probably has its own fair share of broken combos. Wrapping up that though, and I think that pretty much finishes everything I wanted to talk about rapid fire. I just tried to knock it out as fast as I could to try to, well, not waste your time. And honestly, I don't think there's too much else I have to say here. I'm having fun despite the stupidly overpowered abilities, so I guess that speaks to something. I did play a few games that I didn't record not using Yasuo, and those were fun, and I'm glad I, got to play again. And overall, I think I'm just excited to play the game and make videos, because since rank dropped, I haven't really played much at all. So expect to see more of these. Obviously, I'm still going to be putting out YBA stuff, and pretty much the entire week, actually now that I think about it, making this, I think literally the entire week has been AUT, but then again, the update came out this weekend, so I think that's fair to say that that's not really, well, a problem. I know there's some people that only watch my YBA stuff, and that's fine. So I apologize to them. They're not even watching at this point in the video, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, that's all. So if you enjoyed the video, you think Yasuo is hilariously overpowered, and you want to get it as fast as possible so you can basically cheat, you can leave a like, subscribe. If you didn't, don't do those things. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.